It's castles in the air.
Welcome to another episode of the KaK M C Show. Yes, we're back. Look, can you see that over there? Since they've pulled down the Broad Marsh shopping centre and the car park, you can now see what is actually a stately home called Nottingham Castle, because they burnt down the old one.
Did you know that they burnt it down in, I think it was the 1700s, because everybody was sick of all the corruption that was going on, so they went and burnt the castle down.
Really? Who was living in it at the time? Was it a king of some kind?
No idea, but this is why Nottingham's well known for doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's known for it. Unfortunately, we don't have those in charge that are doing the right thing, but the men, women and children are known for doing the right thing and not putting up with too much shit, because when we've had enough shit, we just burn things down.
Oh.
And maybe lynch some. I wouldn't recommend it, because they won't get to serve their time that way.
Our local council, our local servants used to hang us, didn't they? If we'd stolen an apple, if we...
Up at the Galleries of Justice.
Galleries of Justice? There is no justice. There's
no,
what?
Justice. In fact, if you go to the Galleries of Justice, which is a tourist attraction for Nottingham, if you stand on the opposite side of the road and look at it and look up, you will see, in stone, for all you Freemasons out there...
It's kind of axe, isn't it?
It's a double axe. It's the fasci. It's the symbol of the fasci, the fascism.
Oh, I was going to say, as in fascism.
Yes, that's what it is. And so it just shows you we've been ruled by a fascist dictatorship.
Ruled by a measure
forever.
of. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about today, was it, Mr. Mac?
No.
I'm sorry to call you Mr. if you don't
KaK.
know. KaK. We wanted to talk about human drug experimentations on children. Are you kidding me? Kids, get it?
All happened, and probably still is.
Seriously, Salon?
This goes back to when...
Drug experimentation on kids?
This goes back to when Mickey Summers was in care, and Dr. Milner...
Hi, Mickey. Dr.
Milner was carrying out... who was also, we believe, a paedophile, but was also carrying out drug experiments on children at Aston Hall, which Nottingham Criminal Cartel are trying to say is nothing to do with them because it's in Derbyshire. But of course, they owned it at the time, so it is indeed something to do with them.
I'm looking for something, I can't find it. What's happened to it?
I wondered what the flapping about was. Flapping.
We'll be back in a second. And we're back in the KaK and Mac.
You'll have to forgive us about that, because you just can't get decent cameramen these days.
Yeah, I know. Cameraman's terrible, isn't he? Filming everything, look, filming the sky. We're on Canal Street, by the way. So, what we were talking about is, which I can't quite believe, how sick our so-called public servants are. So, human drug experimentation, how long's this been going on for?
It started in the 50s. When they, but it's getting worse now. Not for so much the drug experimentation, because I think they've tested enough drugs, but they're still stealing of the children. Anyone that's been following things will notice the fake stealing of children. By fake, I mean stealing without any excuse of children is on the increase. And in fact, I've got a document, a little sheet from Nottingham Criminal Cartel to go through and point out where they really get the money from, which was provided for me by a girl that we know.
Right.
And I'll get round to that at some point. But it shows you that they go after whatever makes them the most money. And what makes them the most money at the moment? Young children to be given to paedophiles, to be raped, murdered, molested, and probably experimented on with drugs, just like in the old days.
You know, on the local council's questionnaire survey, their main priorities are two subjects, aren't they?
Yep.
One is the protection of children, what, for themselves?
Yeah, that's funny in itself, because it's there. This is what we want to put the most amount of money in, protecting children, when they're the ones abusing them. You could have knocked me over with a feather.
Knocked you over. Feather. I bet the councillor spitting feathers today. Watching our videos at night. Hi everybody. Knock me down with a feather. Knock it down with a feather.
Yeah, and so that's how it goes, really. Sort of lost my train of thought there after that feather attack.
So we're going on about this drug experimentation on children. And where is this done?
Aston Hall it was done.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, it's interesting, the councils both deny even employing James Milner.
Didn't the Nazis
Dr. James
do
Milner.
this?
Well...
Didn't the Nazis do this? Yeah? You could knock me down with a feather. Ugh. Where were we?
Yeah, well... at the end
James
of
Milner.
the day, those that were behind the Nazis didn't actually lose the war, they just moved.
They all moved to America, didn't they? They became
Yeah,
their
under
new
Operation
scientists.
Paperclip and many other operations. Some moved to Russia, because at the end of the day, back then, and still now, the heads of each country are in a little gang together, but the men, women and children of each country don't know that. They think that the heads are there for the actual country, but in actual fact, they're all working together for a common purpose.
It seems like we've all been victims of mind control.
Yes,
But,
it does.
but yeah, the Nazis experimented with drugs on children and stuff. I mean, these are extremely negative.
Well, I think you will find
people, aren't they?
if you actually do your research, you'll find that Milner,
I can't believe this is going on.
the name Milner,
has
actually
been.
originates from Germany.
No, that doesn't surprise me.
So maybe he was brought over under some other operation.
Honestly, I can't believe it. Absolutely can't believe it.
And the thing is, the men, women of Nottingham, many know about it or suspect it, but they're not doing anything until they see the evidence. The evidence is about to come in the upcoming, investigation that's coming to Nottingham, which all the council leaders are really looking forward to. The spotlight being shone on Nottingham and its criminal activity.
Do you think they all might run off before they actually get locked up in their own prisons, which we fund?
Well, that's the problem as well. Because you look at Damien Green in the government, he got found with child porn on his laptop. And
He just ran away, didn't he?
did
Resigned.
he get done for it? No, he just resigned as Deputy Prime Minister.
They
That's
all, they all seem to resign and then they go and take a job like Blair, who works for some racky oil company and gets paid like $1 million just for doing a speech for an hour or so.
Well, the worst one for that has got to be Boomtown Rats. He charges £100,000 to do a speech about poverty.
The man that says, "Give us your money now."
Yeah, let's do Live Aid and give all this money to the poor. Strangely enough, after that, I became a multi-millionaire.
Wow. And Ethiopia's still suffering, yeah?
By design, not by accident.
Drug experiments on kids. Seriously?